Hi everyone, my name is Peter Maki. Welcome back to Nelcos Distribution in beautiful Vancouver, BC. Today we're going to talk about a topic which for some of you will bore you and put you to sleep if you're an installer. But most importantly, this is going to help everyone who's quoting a job and looking to use Bodak film for any project. Basically what we want to do is take this project here, which is a kitchen cabinet, fridge, countertop wrap that we did, and I'm going to take you through how we measure and how we budget the amount of film that we're going to use for this project, and also talk a little bit about timing. I'm also going to show you a door that we've got that will measure up, and we'll go over exactly how we break down the amount of material that we're going to use and maximize the amount of material that we're going to use, because we want to limit the amount of waste that we have, because any wasted material is cost for you on top of the project. Because we're using Bodak Hyundai film, it comes in a 4-foot roll. With that 4-foot roll, depending on the pattern will be running the entire length of the roll, which is, it's a 50-yard roll, so 150 feet. So any wood grain will be running in that length. So that comes into play when we're quoting anything that has potentially a brushed stainless finish or a wood finish, like these cabinets. So that's something that we want to keep in mind, and we always want to base our quote on linear footage versus square footage. You can do square footage when you're using a full color product, but generally you'll find that you are using a finish that has some sort of pattern in it, so you do want to quote everything in linear footage. I'll show you guys how I measure everything out. So for instance, these top cabinets, they're basically 32 inches, so we can say 3 feet tall, and we're 3 feet wide. So it's safe to say that we can actually use 3 linear feet for these top cabinets. So I'll just write that down, 3 feet. Now these bottom cabinets, again, that's 3 feet wide. And again, we're 3 feet tall. So we're gonna use 3 linear feet for this cabinet. So that's an extra 3 feet. These top ones are a little over 2 feet. So in actuality, we're gonna use 1.5 feet of lineage. So I'll mark that down as well. So 1.5 feet. And these bottom ones, again, we're a little over 2 feet, so we're gonna have to measure lengthwise. And again, we're gonna use 3 feet. So to wrap these cabinet doors along the top and along the bottom, we're gonna use a total of 3, 6, 9, 10.5 feet. And with these, I would definitely want to add some extra. So call it an extra 15-20%. So at 10.5 feet, if we added another 10%, we'd be at about 12 linear feet of 48-inch material. So for these, we'd probably order 12 linear feet. We are going to have some leftover pieces, which we can use to wrap some of these on the sides and whatnot. And we can even order a little bit extra, call it an extra few feet if we wanted to. And for timing wise, on this project, because these are shaker cabinets, we're probably going to be, for each of these doors, with prep, install, and everything that we need to do, an 1.5 hours per door. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doors, which is a total of 12 hours of labor. We've got these smaller doors that don't have any indentations, and you can see that they're fairly flat and fairly straightforward. We're going to have about a 1/2 hour each per door. So with these doors, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, add another 2 hours. So for doing all of the cabinet doors, we're at about 14 hours. With this countertop, again, if we measure this, we're going to need 48-inch material, because right now we're at 24 inches, so a little over 2 feet. And we are at 5 feet in length. So on this project here, I would actually order 6 linear feet of material for the countertop. This countertop, the prep is going to take about a half hour, and then you're probably going to be looking at about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours to install. So for labor on the countertop, we're probably at about another 2.5 hours plus another 6 feet of material. So in total, we're going to need 12 feet of material for the cabinets, we're going to need 6 feet of material for the countertop, and we're going to need a total of about 16 and a half, 17 hours of labor to do this job. All right, one of the other items I wanted to talk about, along with the kitchen doors, countertop, fridge, is doors. We wrap a lot of doors. So the nice thing about wrapping doors is it's really just a matter of getting a measurement of the length of the door, because generally you're not really going to have any that are under 24 inches. So they're easy to measure, quick to measure, and you're always going to be doing linear foot calculations. So quickly with this door, you can see it's 3 feet wide, so 36 inches. The nice thing is that if they were to decide to wrap the frame, we could easily wrap the frame as well. So if we take a measurement of this, overall it's 41 inches. We are going to come in 1.5 inches on either side of the door, as well as, we've got 1/4 inch here. So in actuality, we can wrap the door, the frames, all in the same linear length, if the client chooses to do so. So, for our door, we're going to take the height, we're to the top of this frame, basically 7 feet. Again, what I'd like to do is just add an extra 2 inches at the top, 2 inches at the bottom. We don't really need too much extra, because we're not going to be wrapping around the top or the bottom. It's just going to be a trim piece. So for this, if I add, so I've got 7 feet, and even if I add another 6 inches, so I'm going to need 7.5 linear feet. So one of the things you want to take into account when you're looking at your doors and measuring your doors is the door handles. Can they easily be removed? So this door handle, I've removed a ton of them. I know it's going to take me about 2 minutes versus trying to cut around and work around it. However, there are some door handles which are a total pain in the butt to remove. So if that's the case, the way you want to look at it is, am I going to spend 30 minutes removing a door handle, playing around with all the hardware, or is it going to take me 3 minutes? Because if it takes longer to remove it than to wrap around it, then you'd want to leave it in place, tape it up, protect it, install. So it's kind of one of those time, cost, benefit factors. So this, I can remove it in 3 minutes, put it back on in 3 minutes, versus having to wrap around it, which really isn't going to take too long, but I'm going to get a nice, clean, easy finish. Lastly, again, we want to make sure the surface is in good condition to find out if we have to do any prep work. So that might include any dents in the doors, any dings, where we'd have to come in with wood filler, sand it down, prime, apply. So this door, super straightforward, really easy, and we can wrap this pretty quickly. All right, I hope that everyone found this informative, and I hope that it helped when it comes time to quote a job, measure it up, figure out how much material is going to be used, how much wastage am I going to have, and over time, it becomes a lot easier process. As soon as you've kind of done a few jobs, you've run into some obstacles, you've run into some problems, you can then start to find out what it is that you need to look for, and even how much extra should I be adding to each of those corners. How much extra overall should I add to the project? Should I add 5%, 7%, 10%, maybe 15%? So that this way you have that little bit of a buffer. Timing-wise, with regards to wrapping, applying, installing onto different surfaces, that comes with time, and as you start to do your projects, you'll start to learn, and there isn't really a golden rule that we can count on, because every single project is so different. And for myself, because I've done quite a bit of different installs in different areas, different locations, different types of cabinets, countertops, fridges, I can look at a project and in my head I know, okay, you know what, that's going to take me X amount of hours. And somebody else may look at it and think, oh yeah, well, you know what, it's going to take me 2 hours longer or 2 hours less. So it all comes down to experience, practice, getting out there, wrapping things, even wrapping stuff in your own home. I've done my bathrooms as well as I did my dishwasher. So I can get a really good basis of how long are things going to take me. So I've been able to practice on some of my own things. So I hope you found something that you learned. I hope it was informative. Please like the video. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Set up any alerts so that we can get future videos that'll pop up to you. Most importantly, let us know if you have any questions, comments, anything that I might be able to do a little bit differently. We always love hearing from you.